This is going to be a very animal-filled episode, isn't it?
Apparently. Mickey's talking, Little and Kronk are moving. Opal's being good, but she's always good.
Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast. My name is Alicia Stella. With me as always is my co-host Ian.
Hey kids.
And today we are talking about the state of EPCOT.
Oh boy. Oh boy. My poor EPCOT. My poor EPCOT.
Before we talk about EPCOT,
yeah.
What do you think about the Disney World, the Walt Disney World losing its Walt?
I mean, it's not a huge deal, but in my opinion, it's kind of not cool because it was originally Disney World, and then Roy added the Walt to remember his brother. So it seems kind of a jerk move to remove the name, even though nobody really says Walt Disney World. But just formally, it would be cool if they kept it. But it doesn't seem that I'm not really.
Was Disney Dish the first to report that rumor?
I think so.
Because I've seen it everywhere now. So I was thinking about it before we started.
What do you think about it?
I would be okay with it if they kept the space. I feel like if they mixed, it's a weird nitpick, but if they mixed together Disney and World into one word like Disneyland, it would look so wrong to me. I write Disney World as shorthand for like articles all the time, but like the space implies that it's Disney, it's Walt Disney World, like
of course
it's a separate. It's a world of Disney. It's not a Disney World. It's not.
And WDW sounds better than DW, but like as far as the signs and stuff, I don't care. I think formally though, it should remain Walt Disney World, just out of tradition and just to kind of be nice to Walt. But
at Disneyland, you abbreviate it DLR, Disneyland Resort. Yeah. So I guess we could do DWR.
DWR.
That's not too weird.
Let's go grab all of the URLs real quick, just in case. Maybe it's to save money on 4 letters. I don't really know. Yeah.
That's why I'm worried about the space. You save more money if you cut out that space too. Spaces count. Every little bit counts. Yeah.
Only on certain things. There's no extra money on it for a space on a sign because it's just the same number of letters. You're sticking on there.
It takes up kerning.
Are we really gonna start talking about fonts now?
No. All right.
Takes up kerning.
It's a weird thing where I agree with you. It would be like disrespectful to the whole point of why it's in the name, but at the same time, I call it Disney World anyway. This is going to be the biggest controversy since they dropped the from the Magic Kingdom sign,
or the letter change for EPCOT. Since we're talking about EPCOT.
I am glad Epcot's back to all caps, and we don't need the word center. So I just didn't like the lowercase PCOT. I thought that was weird. But I will say I've gotten used to the Magic Kingdom not being the Magic Kingdom on the sign. And when I saw an old picture of mine and it said the Magic Kingdom, I thought it looked weird. So it just takes a few years and you get used to it. And now the Magic Kingdom feels weird. So
object permanence. I don't know. Like, I don't care about it on sides and stuff. I think it just formally needs to stay Walt Disney World just because it was specifically done to remember Walt. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I think about that.
All right, so Epcot.
Epcot. How are we going to start? Just like, are we going to go like segment by segment? What are we doing for this Epcot?
Sort of. I have some notes, so I'll direct our conversation accordingly. But long story short, you hadn't been to Walt Disney World Resort in a while, and you went
in a long while
to Epcot, all caps, recently. We went very recently, a few weeks ago. How long had it been since you stepped foot into the Epcot? I think it's been so long it was lowercase Epcot back then.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 5 or 6 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a while. I've been trying to save to get down here. So, it's been a little while. And then they stopped selling annual passes.
Right. Are you still thinking about giving in and getting a Pixie Dust pass just to get free parking for your one visit that you're doing?
No, I'm gonna do at least 2 visits, but I did the math out, and I was like looking at it, I'm like, if I go twice, it pays for itself basically in the end. So
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna do it and hate it.
I,
I'll just be
I
mad about it.
essentially we're gonna have to we're just gonna meet down there for dinner on a Friday night or something. Since you can only go on weekdays, it's become like the after 4 Epcot pass essentially, and that's it.
For sure, for
it's
sure.
after work for dinner. That's all it's worth.
Yeah, but we're gonna go to Pizza Rizzo. We're gonna use one of those days for Pizza Rizzo. We have to.
You're gonna have to call out. You're gonna call out of work or something, or get a day off because Pizza Rizzo closes at 4. I'm afraid.
Yeah, we might do that. I might be able to do that.
Or if you get off early on Friday and just haul butt all the way
we
to
could get there.
The Disney World, all when we're in no space.
It's not the first time I changed at work to meet you at a park. I'm just saying.
That's true. Okay.
So.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's possible. So, anything's possible when Rizzo is in Pizza Rizzo is involved.
see the things I'm going to do for our listeners so that they can finally get their Pizza Rizzo, Alicia and Ian time. It's gonna be great.
I mean, the things you do, like, it's my favorite place in the world, and like, it's
mine,
such a chore to have to go eat bad pizza. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It could be potentially a chore for me if I have to eat bad pizza.
Oh, you have to eat it, and I'm recording
exactly. I know you are.
So you walk into Epcot, all caps. You haven't been there in 5+ years. What do you think of the entry courtyard?
I like it. I love it. It reminds me of the old school stuff. I like seeing that. I love the fountain and everything back. It just looks so much more inviting and just nice. Like, it feels good in there now. I do like what they did though with the Leave a Memory stuff. The colored panels and all that it's pretty cool. It's better than it was before. So.
Wait, no. As a fan of Walt Disney World Resort, you're not allowed to like anything. I'm gonna have to stop you there.
I'm sorry. I don't like the entryway to Epcot. It's still horrible, even though I can see like planters and fountains and
no. You're allowed to like that because it looks like old Epcot. You're not allowed to like the new legacy things because they're cheap and like plastic board.
Yeah. They look nice. The colors are cool in there. It's nice and different. It doesn't look like a mausoleum in there anymore. And even off to the side, they don't look like mausoleum or museum pieces. But yeah, I like the entryway a lot. It was
the last time we talked. We talked about the future of Epcot a few years ago with Rob Plays, and we talked about how we wish they would take out the Leave a Legacy stones and just like stick the little plaques, the little faces somewhere outside the park, like on the other side of the turnstiles. And they announced that they were going to do that 2 days later after we put the podcast up.
So good.
So yeah, it's a good time to check in on the state of Epcot now, years later. Do you think now that we're recording this again, like checking in on Epcot, do you think in 2 days they'll announce everything that we're going to suggest? Or like, we better suggest good things in case they're listening?
I don't know. I mean, they keep pulling stuff back and then things are just on hold or moving slow. I don't know what's going on over there. So maybe, I mean, they do. Apparently we are the Magic Podcast. So I don't know.
After the beautiful fountain, the pylons and the prettiness, and we took a picture there. It was nice. After that, and Spaceship Earth, we reached the work walls, the missing center of Future World,
the mouse maze. I mean, sorry. Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. They're work walls.
Yeah, multiple times throughout the day, we found ourselves saying, "Wow, it would be so much easier if we could just walk across the center of the park."
Yeah, I want to go that way, but no, there's a wall.
Like, I can see Connections Cafe right there, but excuse me while I walk all the way around this giant hole in the center of Future World.
Yeah, it's not fun walking out and seeing the destination for which we are trying to get to, and then having to walk all the way around.
We all got to point out our favorite parts of the work wall, with our favorite designs on the wall. Mine was the imagination wall because I was imagining Epcot being better. And
I think mine was a figment wall. I think it wasn't it? Wasn't it one with multiple figments on it?
Yep. Jen liked the hey in the Moana wall. Yep. And Joel, what did Joel say? I think he was making a joke. I don't know if he was being serious. He's like, this is my favorite wall.
Joel's awesome. I like the dry humor.
He started it, but I was like, well, it's funny you say that. We actually have favorite walls, and we pointed them out later. I think his was the multicolor stripes right near the Creation Store. What do you think of the Creation Store?
All right. So I'm torn on the Creation Store. So what I think about the creation store is I like that it's big and open. I don't like that it feels like a cheap facade kind of mall place. It doesn't feel good in there. It looks nice. It's like it's like I worked in the news for a while, so it's like looking at a news set. It looks really nice, but then when you get closer and actually walk through things, you can tell that it's not really what it appears to be, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
feels
actually,
very
it does kind of look like the one side of a news set. Like it
yeah.
just has like the
It's
wood paneling and some glass, and
yeah.
there's
It
nothing
doesn't
to it.
feel it like looking at it. It looks very nice, but then when you walk through it, it's like yeah, this feels like cheap and fake. Like I don't know. Like
Oh,
I do like the openness of it though. I do like the way that vibe, that part of the feel, and the windows and stuff are awesome in there. So it
yeah,
is easier to navigate. But yeah, it just
right.
feels kind of. I think in general, the word that I would like to use for Epcot right now, as far as the new things, is unrefined. It's not
Hmm.
that it's bad. It's not that it's good. It just doesn't feel quite there. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Well, there is a giant hole in the center of the future world, so
Well,
maybe
I
it'll
mean,
feel more
even
cohesive when it's all completed.
yeah, but it's not even that. It's just like every individual thing will talk like the store. It feels like it's going in the right direction, but it feels like it falls short because like I said, when you walk through it, it feels kind of cheap. But
You
when
know
you
what it
look at it,
needs? It
when you
needs
first
some
walk in, it
like
looks nice.
it needs some like massive, oversized themed elements like hanging from the ceilings or something.
It needs something.
Because it feels like the shell of a really cool Disney store, and then it's just missing that like '90s giant fabricated Stitch hanging from the ceiling or
Yeah,
something.
it
Like,
needs something. I mean, like I'm saying by the unrefined thing, it just seems like everything is like right up to a certain point and almost awesome, and then it just stops. Like they
it's the
almost get
base
there.
level,
It's
it's the underlying backdrop for a great store, and then they forgot to theme it.
yeah, they forgot to finish it. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like you can easily see, like I said, through, and I like the windows. But yeah, I do like the cafe though. That was kind of cool.
Well, the windows in the store and the Starbucks side of the cafe right now are just facing the work walls. So once
Yep.
that's a big open park, I think that's going to really like I feel like the whole cohesive theming of these things will come together when the theme is look out the windows. Like that's the theme. Like we have giant windows and out there it's pretty. Like you don't need a theme when the theme is windows. No, I do
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
mouse gear was so complicated. They started putting
it was.
directional maps at every entrance and in multiple spots to like tell you where the different sections were. And this new store,
Yeah.
you could literally look across and go, "Oh, toys," and you could look across
Yep.
and go, "Oh, shirts," and you can see the titles for all the things like above the racks. So it was
Yep.
really it's
Yep.
really easy now to just see across the whole store. And if like you lose your party, you can see them across the store without having to worry
Exactly.
about like turning down a catacomb and being lost. Plus, everything was dusty in mouse gear. Like no one was dusting
Yeah.
all the decorations and gears and stuff. Like it was just getting pretty
No.
gross. This is much cleaner, literally
It
cleaner.
is. Yeah, it's like I said, it looks really nice, and then as you start to walk through it, like you get a close up of like the wood that's in the ceiling or something. It just looks like don't know if that's actually real.
All right, so giant stitch. That's what we need. I'm telling you,
Giant
that's what we
Stitch,
need.
or just hang the Dreamfinder in there. And
Well, they did the same thing at the Disney Springs store. They turned it into like an old bottling company or something, and an old animation depot, and like
mm,
it's just exposed brick and openness and like it's great, but at least there is a couple like hanging cartoon character things and some animated
yeah,
walls, and it's like just those little touches of having animated walls and some actual like dioramas hanging from the ceiling and really good like displays, not just
hmm,
merchandise, because at Epcot I think it's just merchandise, but the top of like the center displays actually has some themed elements that they switch out every season, and it like that's what it's missing, just some themed elements to like draw your attention away from the wood paneling.
yeah, for sure. And Joel and I noticed that the mannequin kids in that store are kind of creepy.
All the mannequins are creepy. They have silver faces.
The kids are especially creepy. I don't know why, but he and I were looking, and I was like, "Yeah, that's creepy. That's
Oh,
really
like they're
creepy."
extra creepy. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why, but yeah.
Connections, the actual
Hmm.
Connections eatery, to get back to what you were saying,
Oh yeah, that was
is
good.
fantastic.
It was good. I had a burger there, right? It was
Yeah.
obviously quick service, so they don't really cook to temperature. But considering the toppings and stuff on it, it was better than like most quick service. Like it wasn't just like a generic burger.
They have different buns there
Yeah,
and different toppings than anywhere else. for all their sandwiches. The pizza is different than anywhere else at that quick service. But that's one where the eatery side has the big windows overlooking World Discovery. I have to get my neighborhoods right.
Hmm.
So that one already is complete, and you can look out and it's not work walls, and you can see the monorail go by, and it's so serene, and there's like flowers out the window. And that feels like you don't need theming because it has these big windows, and the theme is, look, there's Guardians of the Galaxy outside. Like that's the
Yeah, but
theme.
I mean the other side of the restaurant is they have like they have open kitchens in some parts of it, and they have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the cash registers and
The
stuff. So it is
mural.
kind of themed. Yeah, the mural. And then they have the thing by the bathrooms with the rolling pins and stuff like that. So I mean
Yeah.
it's probably slightly more themed than the store, but it's nice in there.
The Starbucks side, we didn't really look at it, but it has the old Epcot the city diorama like drawing on the floor.
Oh, that's cool.
So like you when you're waiting in line, you can look down and see kind of the outline of what the Epcot city would have been. Um, I love the idea that like we're just walking all over the blueprints of a failed dream of Walt Disney. Just like
It's
that's
fine.
yeah. Sorry, we didn't build your city, but we'll put it on the coffee shop floor.
It seems kind of like an allegory for things that are happening. Sorry. I'm gonna be nice.
It's the only Starbucks with like seating inside of it in a theme park
Yeah,
at
that's weird.
Disney World. Disney World Starbucks are usually grab your coffee and get out.
If
So
there's even an inside.
yeah, oh yeah, if there's even, I think Animal Kingdom might have like two little tables, and it's really just for sitting
Oh.
there and being annoyed by the rest of the 90% of the space is just the queue. Um, I love Connections Eatery. I never would have thought that the location that was formerly known as the what is it, Electric Umbrella.
Yeah.
If androids dream of electric sheep, do they use electric umbrellas? I never would have thought that like the worst restaurant in Epcot would become my favorite restaurant in Epcot.
I know you loved it.
I get the General Tso's chicken salad every time, and that special waffle every time, and it is
The
always
waffle.
good. The Liege waffle. They
Waffle.
like bake in sugar crystals. It's so good. I can't explain how good it is.
We confirmed that by staring there and watching someone make one.
Yeah, don't put a window in a kitchen if you don't want us to stare at the waffles with like our tongues hanging out like a cartoon character in a Tex Avery cartoon.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, waffles. Refillable sodas, like real silverware, great atmosphere, decent, different food. Even if you don't like it, at least it's different. At least it's trying something.
It is, and it's like I said, even the burgers aren't just plain. I mean, obviously, like I said, you can't control the temperature, but the toppings and stuff are really good. They're different. It's not just like a cheeseburger with nothing on it.
Even if you don't eat there, great new bathrooms, really good, modern
really
looking,
nice
clean bathrooms, nice big bathrooms. Like compared to the ones that were in the Electric Umbrella, which had like 2 stalls, these things go on forever and ever. Great update all around.
I didn't have that experience on that side. I'm just saying that was you. That was all you.
Oh yeah, well, there's stalls on both sides in my bathroom. No, it's fantastic. Connections is the greatest thing that has happened to Epcot in 20 years. Like honestly,
of course,
it's great.
Did you just spend 20 minutes talking about a restaurant? I'm just saying.
No, we spent 10 minutes talking about Walt Disney World.
So 15 minutes. Got it. Cool. No, it's really good. It's a cool little quick service spot for sure. It's one of the better ones I've ever had at Disney World in general. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. It was cool. And it's a nice place to sit.
Yeah, when I'm waiting for my boarding group for the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, I like to chill. They make you get your food now first to sit by the windows, but you can always sit on the cafe side and grab a coffee if you want to just chill in there. It's nice. But if you want the windows, you gotta pay up. You gotta get some food. But just eat slow, enjoy the windows. Every time the monorail goes by, I'm like, this is nice. I like it here.
Yeah, it was very nice. So what did we do next? We did Guardians after that, didn't we?
Yeah, speaking of boarding groups, I got some flack last podcast. We talked about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind because I said it was meh to me. It was meh. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. What did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind? Which you only got to ride once.
It was fine. I don't know what to tell you. It was fine. It's fun. The technology is cool. It's just it didn't like blow me away. It's fine. It's fun. It's not a bad. I don't mean to say that as in it's a bad ride. It's just kind of was like, okay, cool. I love Drax on it. Drax is amazing on that ride.
Yes,
It's my
Drax
favorite.
is standout. Everything he says is
We
hilarious.
we did get Tears for Fears, which was kind of cool, and I had talked to my friend Jillian about that, and I did find it kind of relaxing, which is odd to say on a roller coaster, but the music
Yeah.
kind of makes it kind of chill, and I kind of dug that vibe. But
I almost wish that was the first song I got, because the first song I got was Conga, which is way too fast.
no,
I still feel like
yeah,
this one was too slow. Like, this is the
it
Everybody
is.
Wants to Rule the World song. It's almost too chill for the pace of the ride. I think the
It is for the pace. I think it works
yeah.
for the gliding sideways though, like the
Oh
drifting kind of
yeah.
feel. That it feels really nice with that
It
music.
still worked way
But
better than Conga. I just think that it's still not the best selection for the ride. I
yeah,
think
September
the
seems like it's got the right pace, and I
September
haven't
was
even ridden that. But
perfect. Disco Inferno was pretty good, and I haven't had there's a Blondie song, right? I haven't had that yet.
yeah, I don't know which one. It's not Call Me, is it?
I think it is.
Is it? It's a
I'm
good
too
Blondie
lazy to
song.
look it up. Everyone's yelling at the podcast right now.
Yeah, for just keep yelling at us. I haven't memorized the songs yet. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, the launches are cool. I don't know if it was just our car or what, but they kind of so like in the Omni Movers, they turn you to face something, but when we would turn, we would never quite turn. It never felt like I was turned all the way facing at something that I was supposed to be looking at. Like it almost got there and I just stopped.
It just depends on where you are in the train. So, like, I think the front, like, 4 rows are the best, in my opinion, for getting the right Omnimover moves.
Yeah, there's some really cool visuals in there. I think the backward tunnel is really cool with the way the lighting and stuff
Mm-hmm.
goes on in there. That's really cool. I think the screens are fine. Like you can kind of tell where they are or where they stop and start, which is fine. It's not really a complaint. I mean, the screen's huge, which is kind of cool, but
I don't know. It sounds like
especially
to me you're boasting about your good vision. That's what I hear. Some of us don't
but
have perfect vision. I don't see the edges of all the screens.
I don't have very good vision, and I still noticed it. But still, like, it's fine. I mean, it's awesome for what they could do and the space they made best of it. But it didn't like blow me away. But I mean, I had fun. I sang the Tears for Fear song all the way through the ride. I had a blast and had a smile. But I didn't get off going, "Yay, let's do that some more." I got off going, "Yeah, that was fun. What's next?" I don't know. I
Well,
don't know. People can come
Joel
at me
got
with
off the
their
ride
hate, but
going like, "Let's go on test track and let's go on this." And both me and Jen were
Jen's
like,
no.
Let's go sit down for a bit." But like, me too. Again, the
Yeah.
one who goes, like, I used to ride like Dueling Dragons over and over again through the re-ride entry. I've ridden like Forbidden Journey multiple times in a row, and I never get nauseous. But this ride, for some reason, always
You
gets
know,
to me.
you know what I think would help the nausea on that ride is if there was a headrest, so you could just keep your head locked in
Yeah,
place.
that's true. You do have to hold your head
Because
up.
you have to hold your head in one place, and if you get like motion sick, then that's the easiest way is just to keep your head locked. But if you have a headrest, you can just plant your head
Yeah,
against it like you do
that's
on
true.
Mission Space and other
Mhm.
things. So you could
Yeah,
just
your inner
plant your head
ear
and
is
probably
like
be
flopping
fine.
around.
Yeah. So I think the ride would be less nauseating for some people if they had a place to lock their head in. You know what I mean? Because that's what I
I
was.
know.
That's kind of what I was hoping for on the ride. When I sat down, I was like, "Oh, I wish this had a headrest."
Well,
And
I do
I didn't even
like
get nauseous from it.
I
So
do like how accommodating the seats are. I mean,
yeah, they are comfortable too.
I don't mind the no headrest, but yeah, maybe that would have helped.
Well, I mean, they could have done like a similar take to the Mummy. Those headrests aren't bad.
I think it comes down to claustrophobia for me. Something about being in the dark and not knowing which way you're going. And I'm fine on Space Mountain, but once you add the spinning into it, or the really tight restraint, like being
Yeah.
locked in on something like Rock and Roller Coaster, for some reason, being in the dark on a Rock and Roller Coaster and knowing, like, once the launch happens, you're like, oh no, I'm trapped here, which is how any ride is. But the restraint is more restrictive, and it's dark, and I
Yeah.
don't know where I'm going, and I turn into an old person, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So I'm
Yeah,
just
it's a
old
fun
now.
ride.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
I think
Yeah.
it's fun, but it's kind of meh as far as like rides go. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
It's
I mean, that's
cool.
what I said, but I got in trouble for it. So
That
I'm afraid
doesn't
to
mean
say it
yeah,
again.
yeah. But to be fair, that doesn't mean it's not fun and not a good ride. It just means like comparatively to other things, it's like
I
it's all right.
I I enjoy
I'm
it
not mad at
for
it.
what it is, and I'm always happy to go on it when I'm at Epcot. I will have
Yeah,
to
for
sit
sure.
afterward, and I like I've ridden it without eating first, and I've ridden it with eating first. And like the first time, I'm like, oh,
Doesn't
maybe I
matter.
should have eaten first, and this time I'm like, maybe we shouldn't have eaten first, and I don't know what the right answer is because I'm gonna be sick either way. But I went on Velocicoaster yesterday. And as soon as it starts, I'm like, I love this ride so much. Like I don't get that on the other one. I get a cool feeling when it
Yeah.
first starts, and there's like that really neat like projection effect that's like bending colors. I always get this feeling like, ooh, I'm on a really cool Disney ride. And then after like 1 minute of the ride, I'm like, I don't want to be on this Disney ride anymore. Like,
Yeah.
but Velocicoaster,
I mean,
the whole way through, I'm like, wee, wee.
as far as as far as coasters, like Hagrid's, I just smile and giggle the whole time. Like I
right,
can't.
exactly. Yeah, I
It
don't
doesn't
get
do
that
the
on
same
the
thing.
no.
It's not the same. I mean, it's still fun, but I can't help but laugh and smile on Hagrid's the whole time. Like even outside doing nothing, it's just so fun and silly.
The pre-shows are still hilarious to me on the Guardians.
Yes,
Terry Crews. Terry Crews. I hated it the first time, but the more I see this pre-show, the more I get to it. It's like, you got to tell me when I'm on. Like the more I see it, the funnier it's getting.
Terry Crews is so good. It's so good. I love that guy.
It's more like so bad it's good because it's like he speaks so slowly.
Yeah, but that's kind of his deal some of the time though. That's like kind of his humor, which is amazing.
It's worn me down, funny. And I like it every time now.
It's even funnier because he's all jacked and he's like trying to be that kind of humor. It's amazing. I love that guy. I think he's hilarious.
Or the voiceover when you're leaving the second pre-show and he's like, what did I tell you about telling me when I'm still on? Like I'm like, oh god, this joke is so bad, but it's worn me down. But no, Drax say like first there was toast and now there is cake. Like, those things are, or perhaps it is that incredibly large man outside your window. Like it's always funny.
He's so good. The whoever they got to do Rocket though is not very convincing.
I'm telling you, it's just Bradley Cooper. He had a cold.
Yeah, if it is, yeah, it's not convincing. It doesn't sound right.
No, we went and we watched the Thor movie a few weeks ago, and I'm sitting there in the theater and I'm going, oh, that's what Rocket's supposed to sound like. He only had like 2 lines, and it was enough for me to go, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So what did we do after that? Did we?
Oh, I made you do Rat Ride.
Oh yeah, we did do Rat Ride.
Yeah, I whisked you all the way to Paris, France. I kept suggesting the boat, but no one wanted to take the boat. So we did all the way.
Well, we did Mexico on the way, didn't we? Which was awesome.
Oh, yeah, we did do Mexico.
We did. So we did the Mexico Pavilion, and then we did Norway too, because I hadn't done Frozen. It opened the last time I was there.
Yeah,
it opened
what
the
did you
last
think
time
of
I was
Frozen?
there.
The ride.
It's fine. I mean, I thought some of the scenes were a little long. Like it made me miss so. Just for example, like on Maelstrom, when you start going backwards, the scenery changes. Like you got a polar bear and then all this, and then you end up in the troll. This thing is like she sings "Let It Go," and you're just leaving this gallery, and it looks like she's outside, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm inside because there's arches right here." It just goes that way all the way to the end, and I'm like, I looked at Joel while we were on the ride. I'm like, that's a really long scene.
It's half the ride, but Disney knows where the money comes from. It's the song. Of course. It's the one song.
I'm okay with the song. I'm okay with the song being played that long, but the scene was literally just like her on a balcony, and then you go backwards and there's just archways passing.
The polar bears were static figures. Long. I'm not going to be nostalgic for a ride.
Get out of here. Whatever. Because then once you got past the polar bears growling, yes, you do. Yeah, but then after you got that, you get the falls, which is no longer there, and the trolls telling you to go away, which was awesome.
Oh, you know what I missed the most? I missed the hole in the wall, so you can like the little peekaboo where the boat comes out a little bit over the waterfall outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the marshmallow scene now, and that's like such a waste of a scene. I like the snow geese and I like marshmallow, and but it's such a wasted moment. There's no story moment or anything. It's just like here's the secondary character or the thirdary characters for no reason whatsoever.
Tertiary.
Thank you, tertiary. I look behind me and I see the like discolored colored brickwork that they painted over like to cover up this
Yeah.
hole. And I'm like, why not have the hole here? What are they really missing? Like the
See,
darkness.
I think the Let It Go scene should have been her on a balcony outside, and then you could have started passing some of that stuff as you go backwards. It would have been much cooler, in my opinion, for that. And then I can't help it though. I have been on Maelstrom so many times. The whole time I was on the ride, I was hearing Maelstrom in my head. Like I even did the lift hill voice. I did the voiceover on the way up the hill, and I did the back over the falls in my head. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get it out of my head.
I feel like the Frozen ride feels a little bit bigger because they added the scene at the beginning. So like you have
It does.
The Sven is awesome. Sven the two Svens.
The Svens are, but I love Sven, so Sven's awesome though.
I think so. But adding that little scene just with like Olaf, like, and I always forget it's there when the ride starts, and Olaf's like, he's pretty much just saying, "Hey, welcome to a ride. You want to come like be on a ride with us?" And it's like, why is this scene here? Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna question it. And then you get to the trolls, and they tell the story of the sisters or whatever, and then that little troll, right? If you're in the back of the boat, you'll really see it. But that little troll pops up, and it's like, "Hey, you're going to Elsa's Ice Palace," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Just like pops out of nowhere and talks to us because the other trolls are talking to each other. And it's like Spaceship Earth. You don't expect one of the Greek people to like turn toward you during that scene and be like, "Hey, you're heading to the
Phoenicians.
future."
I mean, wait.
You're heading to the future. That's what happens. The people on this ride just talk to you. It's like it catches you off guard. But yeah, Sven with his tongue stuck is the best thing on the ride.
Yeah, that is the best thing on that ride. I agree. And I don't like the projected faces.
No, I don't like the projected faces. That's why Olaf and Sven are the best because they look perfect.
They do. They look good. But seeing the color difference and stuff, it throws me off every time. I can't.
Especially the final scene where they're wearing
the final scene's really bad.
The outfits from the short film, where the spring-based outfits. And you see it from the side as you exit the scene, and it's just like it's like when you're doing foundation makeup and it doesn't match, except that your face is a glowing robot face.
Yeah. I will say though, as far as the inclusion of Frozen, I do like the summer house, like the way it looks outside. I like that area.
Oh, the meet and greet area. Yeah, that whole area is the most. It's really like nice. What did we say? The most Norwegian looking part of Norway is the expansion for Frozen.
It is, and I pointed out the ruins, the food arc to you and stuff. It was great.
The ruins, great. And there's grass on the roof of the summer house. It all looks very authentic, but also whimsical. That's what I like about the France expansion too. Is that like it feels like it's always been there. And it belongs and it looks good. So I'm all for adding more family friendly fare to World Showcase. I'm not against it.
Yeah, I don't hate the Frozen ride, but it's just, I mean, it was all right.
I mean, you're not its target audience, but
no, not at all. Not even close.
My first date with Jen was we went and saw Frozen. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the podcast. Oh. We went and saw the Frozen movie in theaters.
Oh my God.
That was our first. So that movie kind of is special, I guess, to us.
Oh, Pookie Doo.
Oh, shut
now I'm
up.
going to hold your hands next time we go on that ride. So I can be like, yay, family date time.
Oh, my God. I'm going to cut this out now.
That's kind of sweet, though. That's that's an easy movie to remember, though, for your first date.
Well, yeah, yes. Otherwise, I'm bad with dates, and I can never remember what year things happened. So that helps put some timeline together. I can't believe I cursed. All right, so
I can.
It started raining, as it does in July. Was it July? In the Florida.
In the Florida.
And we walked around. We went into some shops and things.
I got you an apple pie. I got an apple split. What'd you think of that thing?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking it was going to be, but it was a like caramel apple with apple pie flavor.
It had like white chocolate and some kind of like I don't know what.
It's like cinnamon and crumble on top, and it was good. It was really. I think we were hungrier than we thought we were, so it was a good snack. And then it started pouring rain on us.
It did. And then you also broke a knife trying to cut it because you were trying to force it instead of letting the knife cut, which was
I got one slice cut perfectly, and I got cocky.
Yep, you
And then I
did.
had to
You
go
did.
all the way back into caramel couche. And is that how you say that? It doesn't
I have
sound
no
right.
idea.
And we
Werther's.
went
I just call it the Werther's store because it's
the
easier.
Werther's store, yes. Caramel store brought to you by Werther's. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird when you're younger. You don't really notice all of the tie-ins to different companies and stuff. What was it? The Kid Cots presented by Ziploc right now.
So
It's like
weird and
yeah.
random.
Do you think yeah?
Oh,
Because they give you a
man.
little baggie to hold all the cards you collect at the Kid Cot stations, and the baggie is made
Yep.
by Ziploc, so it has a zipper on it. And it's like, kids don't care. Who is this
No,
for?
kids don't care. No one cares. You could hand them a brown paper bag and they'd be just as happy. They don't care.
Yeah,
Maybe more so
you
because they can draw on that.
You gotta hook the kids on Ziploc while they're young. You know, that's
So
what
they
it
can buy
is.
Publix versions. That's
Right,
cheaper.
and we'll just call them all Ziploc.
So wait. More importantly than the rat ride, we were making our way to lunch at Via Napoli, right? Isn't that what we were
It was
doing
an
before we
early
got on
dinner.
Rat Ride?
It was an early dinner, and we had to do Rat Ride first, didn't we? Yes, we had to do Rat Ride first.
Oh yeah, we
So
did.
you can't jump. We had to go all the way through most of World Choke. We had a drink. We
did.
we went to Rose and Crown.
Oh yeah, we did have a drink. I had a black velvet, and you had the yummy black
currant, 50% black currant juice and 50% cider. Strongbow.
It was good. It was really good.
I'm telling you, if you like us Americans, us U.S. Americans, we don't know the glory that is black currant. It is. There is a whole fruit out there that we just don't know what it tastes like. So like your brain wants to go cherries, I think, berries.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was a good drink. I mean,
it was a good drink.
Black velvet's pretty generic, but
what is black velvet?
Standard stuff. It's a Guinness and cider.
Okay, so yours was Strongbow and Guinness, which is good. Anything you add Strongbow to, I find I like the triple that we had in Hogshead.
Triple's good.
As soon as you add Strongbow to something. So here's the thing. I went to Hogshead the other day with Jalen, and I got a Strongbow on its own. Not good.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out you have to have 50% black currant or a Guinness or something added for me to like it.
Strongbow's not a good cider on its own anyway, but
no, but it makes everything gooder when you add it to it.
Because you just get the apple part of it.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, my black currant was delicious.
That was a nice little. We ended up getting a standing table in there, which was kind of nice for a little break.
Yeah, away from the rain.
But yeah, that was nice. And then we went and did the rat ride, and I like the area. The new area is really nice looking in there. It's kind of weird that the gondolas fly over your head. Hi, little.
It's very new Epcot to like, you're in a new area that didn't replace anything. Behind a pavilion, there are skyliners flying above your head. And it's like, this didn't exist 5 years ago. Like everything around you is brand new. This used to be backstage. I remember when all this was orange groves.
I do too, actually. I told you, I remember coming to 192 and it was all orange groves.
But to see something that was backstage just a few years ago actually be fleshed out and utilized, that's what I want for the future of Epcot or all the theme parks. Not just retheme a bad ride. No, I'm gonna be attacked for this maelstrom discourse. Oh no. But to build a brand new ride and add actual capacity to the park, that is where it's at.
Yeah.
You didn't like the rat ride.
It was all right.
What did you like more, Frozen or Rat? What would you ride? What would you enjoy riding on a more regular basis?
Rose and Crown.
What do you hate the least out of these two kiddie rides?
So I actually don't hate either of them. I think there's I don't hate either one. I would go. I mean, I wouldn't be rushing like at rope drop to get to either one of them, but I mean, I would go on either one of them every time I go to the parks.
Okay.
The rat ride has some really I really liked how the ride starts, like how you feel like you're outside and stuff. I really liked all that. My issue with rat ride is, again, the unrefined thing. I feel like I get the gist.
The floors.
You're supposed to be the size of a mouse. But the first thing I really noticed that I did not like was when they park you right against the screens. I can see the speakers right in front of me without even trying to look. And then I have to tilt my head up which I
Mm-hmm.
don't mind so much. It's not like I'm lazy, but I think if they really wanted you to focus your eyes that way, they should tip the thing back a little
Right.
bit, just a
Right.
little bit. But
Like that's what Spider-Man or Transformers would do. It would tilt the car up to force you to not look at the track and the ground. Whereas this
yeah,
doesn't really have the ability to do that. It can only do a little scurrying that kind of like wobbles it a little teeny bit, but it can't tilt or yaw or pitch or any of that. So
yeah,
we're just looking
and
at like 40% of your view is floor. And then the
yeah,
rest of it you have to look straight up.
yeah. And I got to be honest. As soon as I noticed the speakers, that's all I could really look at. It just took me right out of it. I was like,
Just
hey, look.
staring
But
at
then,
speakers.
yeah, I'm like, hey, there's a speaker right there. How many speakers? Like my brain starts attaching to that, So it kind of took me out of it a little. I did like seeing some of the stuff, like when you're under the cart, the giant oversized wheels turn and
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
the cart, there's some really cool little things that they do, and the
The
ride's
mop
fine.
spray. The mop spray is
Yep,
good.
the mop spray. I mean, the ride's fine. It's just like, again, it brings me back to the unrefined word. Like it doesn't feel quite done. Like it
Well, that's
feels
because
like
it was
they
designed
could've-
for Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris, and nothing there is
I was
refined. So
gonna say I was trying not to go there, but yeah, I feel like the screen should have been in the floor, or like we said, tipped back in the vehicle or something. Just like little tiny touches that you normally don't notice.
it's weird
And
because an
there's a
IMAX
reason.
screen, it has teeny holes, and they put the speakers behind it. What
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we have the technology to do speakers behind a screen without giant vents that are visible
yeah.
in the
I was
screen.
gonna say these look like grills almost in the screen.
Yeah.
It's
These are like the
crazy.
vents underneath the talking portraits in the line for Forbidden Journey, where every time there's a talking
Yeah.
portrait, there's a vent underneath. And I'm like, I wonder why there's a vent underneath every single portrait. If only I could figure that out. And it's like, but it's in the screen. And it's like, don't. Come on. Can we not
Yeah.
make this a little bit
I mean,
more?
I probably wouldn't have noticed if the things tipped back a little bit because I'd be focused on what was directly in ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of, it's just the little tiny touches that seem to be lacking in these
No,
little
all I
rides.
see is floor. And the problem
Yeah,
I
that
have with
too.
it is that they have 3 ride vehicles in one screen. So the parallax can only work with like the middle one, and the ones on the
Yeah.
side, you're either leaving too soon or you're leaving too late. If you're leaving too late, especially, that parallax is way weird because like you see it moving before your ride vehicle starts moving. And it
Yeah, that's
doesn't
super
work at
weird.
all. So like Spider-Man and Transformers and any of those things, Gringotts, it's all, well, Gringotts is 2 cars, but it still works better than
It
this
still works,
does.
yeah.
Like
Squinching.
because they move at
Squinching is
exactly
better
the
at
same
Universal.
time. Gringotts, they're attached, so like it works. But this, like one car goes, then the other car goes, then the other car goes. If you're the last one in the room, you've been parallaxing for so long that by the time you go moving, the parallax stops, and it's like, well, and you're dizzy. It gives you dizziness.
Yeah, it's not good. Universal does squinching better.
I like the little moment where you park into the thing and it like is your own little private screen.
Yeah, I
That's
like that too.
that was a real that and then all of a sudden when it's like intimate, just one ride vehicle, it feels more realistic.
It feels much better in that little space. That's probably the highlight besides the entryway into the ride.
And the 3D works in there too.
I like the exit too. It kind of looks like the vehicles are kind of doing like a dance or something to like get to unload. Was kind of cool.
What about
It
the
is kinda
smell
fast.
in the kitchen?
Yeah, it's fine.
It smells like baking bread.
It does. Which is
Available
delicious,
from
but it's fine.
souvenirsense.com. Use promo code ParkStop to save 15% off your order.
Oh boy.
I like the ride, but I also like Michael Giacchino's score. So like I would go on it even if
Yeah.
it was terrible. So even if it is terrible, I don't know because I'm blinded by my love of the Ratatouille, my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, of course. And I actually do like that movie a lot. I do like the ride.
It's almost
please,
there. It's
guys,
like halfway
guys,
there, and then
it's
Imagineers
more
are
than
like
halfway. I don't even think it was Imagineers. I think it was somebody with the purse going, yoink, give me that last little bit of money. You can't
well,
have that.
doesn't Beauty and the Beast in Tokyo now have some kind of projections or light effects on the ground to really help sell like the immersiveness? Because that's the
I'm
problem with
sure. I think
trackless
they
rides
do.
is the ground is just so boring. Runaway Railway has a problem too, where like the ceiling and the ground is unthemed, so everything is around the periphery, everything's around the walls. So like
Yeah.
if they had projections that went all the way to the floor, it would feel like if I'm a rat running on the ground, why does the ground only exist in front of me and above me? Like why does it not exist below me? And I can see 40% of my vision is just black, just ground.
Yeah, or if we're riding on the back of a rat, make it so I can't see the ground like Spider-Man does. Like I can't really see the
Yeah,
ground
tilt it
in
up.
here.
It's all they needed to do is tilt it up. I think that would have worked just fine. It works on Rise of Resistance because Rise of Resistance, the floor is themed as floor.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair too, the floor in those kind of like ships are just like shiny black for the
it's
most
just
part.
shiny.
So
But
it's
yeah, so
really,
the floor is themed
it's,
as floor. They got lucky on that
yeah,
one.
it is. It is. They got real lucky with that one. But yeah, I think it's a fun ride. Like I don't hate it. It's just not like something I'd be running for as much as I like that movie a lot. But it was cool. I just wish it was like I wish it felt like a fully fleshed out Disney ride. You know what I mean? Like you go to Disney, you expect a little more.
Yeah, I think there's this level of Epcot needed more family friendly rides and
For sure.
capacity, and they just literally cloned it in there. I think they spent a lot of time like blending it in and like placemaking the exterior, but then
Which looks
no
awesome.
change whatsoever to the actual attraction. There was an opportunity because it was, what is it, 7 years old now at Paris? I don't know, whatever it
Yeah.
is. They had an opportunity to plus it and they didn't.
Yeah,
Um,
I am, you know me, and I am loath to blame creatives. I would always blame the people that hold the money because I think creatives are probably like, we could do this, this, and this and make it better. And they were like, nope,
so you
you
like the
spent all your
pizza?
money on the outside. Yeah, I love Via Napoli. It was good pizza. It's not like typically what I would get, but it's really good pizza there. Like the pizza, like it's not, let me rephrase. It's not Connecticut pizza, but as far as Florida pizza goes, it's pretty damn good. I like that place a lot.
Well, they
We had
shipped the
some good
flour in
appetizers
from
too.
Italy,
Oh, it has
remember?
Jesus. No, it's the water. It's the water,
No, no,
isn't
no.
it?
The urban legend is the water, but the our server actually said the flour is shipped in from Italy.
Yeah,
And
it's fine. That
like
doesn't mean
ingredients
anything.
coming from Italy is like my olive oil in this house came from Italy. My olives come from Italy. It's not
Yeah,
that out of the
yeah.
question to get flour from
No,
Italy. The water would be weird if they're just like shipping over
no, no,
barrels
no.
of water.
So my buddy is a pizza place in Connecticut. He has his oven shipped from Italy, so I think he wins.
The oven? Well, you
Yeah,
only have to ship
yeah,
that
he
once.
has.
You got to ship flour every week.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I'm sure there's probably a huge batch of Italian flour, and they're like Disney is like, or whoever is like, that part is mine. Thanks. Yoink.
Yeah,
But
imported food
I
is
mean, it's
not out
good.
of. Yeah,
No,
it was.
it's good food.
It looks impressive when it comes to the table too, and it takes up the whole table.
Yeah, we got a big one.
We got two different types, cheese and the
We
pepperoni.
got
The pepperoni was a
pepperoni.
spicy the pepperoni. It was a
Yeah,
spicy the
that part I
pepperoni.
liked. It's not the pepperoni you get at like the stores. It's the spicy little ones that are really good.
And you
If
know
you
it's
like
good when it
pepperoni.
curls up into a little cup and has the grease inside. That's how you know it's
Oh,
good
it's
pepperoni.
so good. So good. So not good for you, but so good. And then we got appetizers too, right? We got bread. We got something else too, didn't we? Didn't we get something else?
Yeah, they were like, I don't remember. Were they garlicky knot things?
Something like that.
We've
It
been to
was
like
good
three
though.
pizza places since then, so I can't remember. But whatever
Yeah.
it was good, and we're gonna order it again.
And then we got dessert too. I got the cannoli that was really good. That
Yeah,
was pretty
yeah.
damn good.
And I got a tiramisu, which I've never wanted before, but for some reason was craving tiramisu, and no one else wanted to try it, so I ate the whole thing, and it was massive, and
Yeah.
it was delicious, and I kind of wanted a second one.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back.
I'm dreaming of that tiramisu. I went and I
I'm
bought
dreaming
coffee
of
flavored
food.
ice cream since then, and it's scratching that
It's
itch.
not the same. No, it's not the
No,
same.
no.
Yeah, Via Napoli's awesome. We got the horse room too, which is nice because it's much quieter than the front dining area
Yeah, as
because of
soon
the
as we
carpet
walked
and
out of the
stuff.
horse room into the
It was
main
like
area, I was like, yeah, it's like a middle school
loud.
cafeteria in there. It was loud. We were in our quiet horse
I
room.
had
It
it.
was carpeted. Our room was carpeted. That's how quiet
It
it
was
was.
it was fancy. I hadn't noticed before, but that outdoor portion, that when it first opened, the outdoor portion, as you're walking up to the front door on the right, is enclosed
Yeah,
now, which is kind of cool. But that was all outdoor because that's the first place I ever ate
the
at Via Napoli
piazza.
was outside there. Yeah, the
Is that
piazza.
a word? Piazza.
Piazza. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the Italian one. I mispronounced every word that day.
You couldn't even say Via Napoli that day.
Nope.
Via Napoli. I'm like, aren't
Yep.
you Italian?
Only in my blood, not in my brain. We did
Yeah, it
do
was
one
good
other
food.
ride. No, we did two other rides.
We did two other rides.
We did Spaceship Earth. That's a mandatory.
We did. It is mandatory, and I
Joel
was the one
said that we
pushing for
would
that.
get stuck on it, and we did.
We got stuck on it 3 times, twice, something
One
like
was a
that.
long 10 minutes. We were sitting
One
there
of
at the
them.
dawn of the electric age, and it was just
Oh
uh,
yeah.
uh, the operator being like, sorry, the line is busy. Please hold. That line is busy. Please hold. Thank you for
Please
calling.
hold.
Please hold. Please hold. Please
Yep.
hold. Please hold. Please hold. And I took pictures and zoomed in. I was like, is she just wearing like a modern headphones? Is that like just a
Yeah, I
Sony
know.
headphones?
You posted that on Twitter, and I was like, wait, that looks like normal headphones.
It's just
I took a
normal
picture of
Sony
like all the
headphones.
scenery, and you're like taking zoomed in pictures of like headphones.
Well, she wouldn't stop
But
talking, so I wanted to take pictures of her.
I will say though, the stop on the way down while you're kind of reclined, I was ready to fall asleep in that seat at that point.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
we
getting pretty
stopped for
close.
another like 5 minutes on the way down too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready to fall asleep at that point. So yeah, I mean, I love it. Needs love, but I love that ride. I love the mural out front still. I love Spaceship Earth.
It
Could use a
needs
new
something for the
narration too, but
descent. The descent is just
it
disappointing.
needs a lot of something.
I mean, although
Track
I
needs to
will
be
say,
loved.
I thought that I've gotten every combination of the cartoon at the end, and it always surprises me when I make a slight decision change and see something I haven't seen before. And I was like, look, I broke my leg in this one. Like it's different.
Joel's face didn't even come out. It was like 3 pieces of graphic. It wasn't even a face. It looked almost like a skull. His face didn't even show up. I think my face was like half there or something.
I was the only one that looked in the right place at the camera and got my face perfect.
I forgot. I forgot it was so early in the ride. I was like talking to Joel, and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot it's that early in this ride. It's ridiculous.
Well, it does send our face to the future.
It does.
And the
Poor
other ride we
future.
did was Figment. The
It hurts.
journey into
It
your
hurts my
imagination
soul.
with Figment.
It hurts my soul.
I think we did it just to make you angry.
Well, I mean, I have to go on it because there's Figment still, but it's not the right kind of Figment, and it sucks that it's Eric Idle and it's not good. It should be good. How do you mess up Eric Idle and Figment? Like it bothers me so much. Like Eric Idle is amazing.
I like it for 30 seconds at the end. It feels like right when it's getting good, it ends. And it literally ends. Like the room you're in
you
when
mean,
it's still good, and then that room illuminates into an unload platform that you're already in.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's like, no, it just started to get good.
How bad is it when the most imaginative part of your imagination ride is the unload room?
I always feel weird. Like the cast member has to stand there in darkness for 30 seconds between vehicles, right? Like they're just sitting waiting,
30-second naps, whatever.
just like waiting to pounce in the dark, pretending not to be there.
Stalkers.
I'm coming into this room thinking I'm alone, picking my nose, and all of a sudden the light turns on. I'm like, oh, I thought we were still on the ride here.
It'd be pretty funny if someone started to do that stuff, like faking they were doing that, and then just like jump, like when the lights turn on, like they didn't know it was coming.
It's like a surprise party for disappointment, is what that is.
I do. Sorry, but the room with all the Figment singing is still good. That's a good part. It's just because it's just Figment singing, and he's not being.
As soon as it says imagination is a blast, and they sing the song, it's like, oh, well, this is what the ride probably should have been the whole time.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. I'm so baffled. Like, Figment is such a lovable character, and you ruined him, and then you get Eric Idle, and you can't even let Eric Idle be Eric Idle enough to make it fun.
Can you imagine hiring him and like for a whole year not asking him to sing that song? It wasn't until the redo that he even sang. Because the original was just him talking, and he's on the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience as just like an MC for an award show. Like, how crazy is it they hired him and didn't realize till a year later when they had to retheme the ride again? They're like, oh wait, Eric Idle can sing, and we have this like Sherman Brothers song. Maybe we have him sing that song. Like, why was that not your first thought?
I know. Or why don't you just let Eric Idle, I don't know, be creative?
No,
weird, right?
Well,
Monty Python guy, be creative.
We know he was just there for the paycheck. And that
Actually,
animated little...
I heard he did it kind of like a favor. He just was like doing nothing and something had fell through. So he went and did it. Like somebody else had fell through and somebody just met him at a bar or something. He was like, yeah, okay, I'll go do that.
Well, I'm glad he went and did the pickups and sang a song a year later. Because
thankfully,
that's the only good thing about the ride.
They need to get rid of it. They need to actually put some imagination back. But I have a whole video on that you edited after I had you help me write it.
That's right. It's on the second channel. ParkStop
Stop
presents on
presents.
the YouTube, where there's construction updates and patent talk, and you did a video about how imagination should be imaginative. Wouldn't that be
Yep, and
crazy?
I'm working on another essay too, but we'll get to that later. But
So
yeah, it was a good day at Epcot though. I mean, there's
it's
not really a bad
it's
ride. It
still a
just was
great
kind of.
park, right?
It is,
Because
and
people
like I
talk
said,
about like
it's.
Epcot's ruined or whatever, but like we had a really good day, and I assure you, if we were at Hollywood Studios, we would not have had a great day.
Yeah, I mean, even the rides that are kind of okay, at least they're fun. Like they're not bad rides. It's just I was
Oh,
always
I
like,
don't know.
especially.
Imagination's not that great.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the newer ones. Sorry,
Oh,
the
yeah,
newer
okay,
ones
yeah.
to me.
I don't
Yeah,
know how I
I
feel
mean,
about the Moana Journey of Water. I don't know how I
uh,
feel about the festival thing, multi-purpose area that they're going to call Community Core Center or whatever they're going to call it.
oh, geez.
But I am really looking forward to the gardens and a fountain in the center, even though it'll be teeny tiny fountain that looks like the Epcot logo and not the giant Fountain of Nations. I'm looking forward to green spaces instead of concrete. I'm looking forward to looking out the windows at Starbucks and actually seeing something besides walls. So
Oh,
look,
you know what we
what?
didn't discuss? We did
What?
not discuss the things that are in the lagoon.
Oh, yeah, we didn't watch Harmonious, so you can't fully judge it. But the second you saw the
No.
barges, you
I
freaked
came
out.
around. I didn't freak out. I just came around. This is exactly what happened. We were coming around the side from the old Odyssey restaurant. I came around the corner and got a view of the barges and just went, nope. That's literally all I did. And Joel started laughing. I just looked up and saw it and went, nope.
I mean, to
It
be
really,
fair, from
to be
where you were
fair,
standing, that's the largest they look. Like if you were the back of the lagoon, they don't look that
that's what
big.
she
Or
said.
if we came at it from, oh no, if we came at it from the front, it wouldn't look so big. We were right at
It,
an angle that just it makes it look
it,
bigger from that angle. I swear.
it didn't look good from any. What did we call it? What did we?
Tacos, the taco,
Stargate with four
Star
tacos.
Stargate and tacos. They really need to put Taco Bell logos on the side and just be like Harmonious presented by Taco Bell. It is a missed opportunity
it
to
just
not do that.
looks it just looks so bad out there in the daylight, and it ruins the views across the lagoon. Like, I'm sure the show for some people is worth it, and don't get me, like, I haven't watched the show yet. Don't hate on me for that, but I mean, you got to admit, during
I
the day it does not look good. It just
I
looks like
don't
scaffolding out there in
I
weird
don't
shapes.
care. I don't think I've ever cared because the views, you can still see the views. You just got to like move to the left a little. Like if you want to
Yeah,
see a
it's
certain country, just keep walking
and,
40 feet to the left or the right.
yeah,
But
and I am talking a lot,
I
but
do love Harmonious. I think when we
that's
first talked
cool.
about it, I was a little iffy on it, but I've seen it 3 times now and I actually really love it. There's
That's
still some
good.
weird decisions and some weird CG graphics that are
Well, it's just
supposed to look
Disney.
bad. And I I don't think that whenever you're going out to do something that's supposed to not look good, you're probably making a mistake. Like,
Yeah, probably. And I mean, you're right. It's not the worst thing, and I don't mean to say that by far it is not the worst thing
no,
ever.
you can
But it's
have your
just not.
opinion.
No, no, no. Let me
Don't let me
finish.
just
No, no. Let me finish. Let me finish. It is not the worst thing ever. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is not good during the day. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the barges are pretty large. I could see why it would be a pain to move them every day, but it's not. It's not a
Large
good look.
barge.
Large
Tell them
barge,
large
Marge.
barge sent you.
Large barge, Marge. Yeah, and hopefully the show is worth it. One of these days I will watch it. But
I
I
like
mean,
it.
it's the good with the bad. Like, you can't have everything perfect all of the time. So I understand that. But yeah, my first reaction to those was nope, nope.
It is. Maybe it's because I saw them like appear slowly, so they grew over time instead of just all at once, like you saw.
Yep.
Maybe if I
Yeah, I
just
just
was
came around the corner and
coming,
was like, nope.
yeah, it's a little more abrupt that way. I saw it be assembled from like I've known it since it was teeny and it grew. Like, I watched it grow, so I have an attachment to it. I've watched it grow up.
Oh, the little baby's
the
all
show
grown up.
the show's not bad.
No, I haven't seen the show, so I have no opinion on that. I mean, for all I know, I might like the show a lot, and then I'll be like, yeah, it's worth losing some of the view. But who knows? That's yet
No,
to be
no,
seen for
you
me.
won't feel that way. If you
Mm.
don't like it in the lagoon now, you'll never like it in the lagoon. I just, like I said, I just don't care. That I've never
Yeah.
cared about the lagoon
Well,
views because if I want to see something, I'll just look at it from a different angle.
I mean, the big thing when I was a kid too was to take a picture from Japan, like straight across through the gateway.
You
into
still
like a
can
spaceship.
do that?
Sort of.
Well, Japan,
Of.
because the back countries are raised up, when you do that, you can still see Spaceship Earth perfectly, even with the dumb octopus in the center.
Yeah,
So
sort of. You can
it's
sort
just
of do it.
because there's islands out there too, and they're blocking your view also. It's just now there's
Yeah,
islands
but
and big giant trusses.
yeah, it's just not as good. That's all. I like it's kind of, I guess it's in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a minuscule complaint, but that was my reaction when I saw them. That was my first reaction.
Well,
I'll
like
be
in other
honest.
parks, like in
Nope.
Hollywood Studios, they project onto the Chinese theater, and
Yeah, yeah.
the Magic Kingdom, they have that castle there, which I suppose looks good during the day. So it is
Yeah, it
like
looks all right.
it is night and day to whether like you have a castle during the day, that's part of the nighttime show, or you have these purpose-built
Scaffolding.
barges that look awful in the daylight and they look cool at night, but also like they could have been shaped differently to look cool during the day, I guess. It didn't have to look like
Yeah.
tacos.
Or Stargate.
Like they picked that shape. They did it on purpose.
They 100% did.
The octopus,
Yeah.
the big circle in the octopus, I like. The tacos could have literally been any shape.
The tacos.
That's all I think.
So, but yeah, that's my first reaction to seeing them. Maybe I'll stop caring. Maybe I'll care less, I guess, every time I go back and just know they're going to be there and won't notice them as much.
We didn't do any festival stuff. If once you have your pass, maybe we'll go do some festival stuff. We like going to the festivals. Like Epcot is still, especially when I go with friends, Epcot is still like the best park to meet people at and do things. And now with Connections Eatery, it's like I will sit with a friend and just chat over a meal with the windows and the monorail going by. Like even on the Starbucks side, they have like steps and it's like a college quad and you can just hang out with friends. Like Epcot is definitely the locals hangout park, and the things they're doing, especially in like the new gardens and stuff and all the stuff they're doing now, it reinforces that. Like they're leaning into it. Like they're going to build a giant purpose built festival area, and they're going to have these like hangout areas in the front of the park. They know what they're doing. Like we can complain about it not being like on theme, but at the end of the day, it's all the stuff that I use it for. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I mean, Epcot kind of had a theme. Like it did, like, but the center area has always kind of just been like whatever. So
yeah, Interventions was already, like Communicore was cool, but Interventions was already halfway terrible. Like it was on its way to being terrible even when it opened. It was so 90s that it actually was too 90s for the 90s.
Yes. And also between, like, besides the fountain, it was just like a slab of concrete. So it was like really nothing. And then they put that netting thing over it for a while.
But by 2000, that park was just the sun rays of doom. There used to be a reflecting pool. There used to be flamingos.
Yeah.
Remember the flamingos?
Yeah. I have a whole lot of nostalgia for Epcot, like tons and tons of it. So I might take things a little harder at that park than some of the other ones, to be honest.
It's still fun to hang out, though. We proved that going with friends is still fun.
It was very fun. Yeah. It was very fun. I would happily go back to Epcot and go back to Via Napoli.
Do you think the Play Pavilion will ever open?
Oh, I don't know. It seems like an idea that's not going to work the way they want it to, in my opinion. I think they're gonna want to be able to change it quickly and all that, but it's just never going to happen.
How do you change something quickly? You never open. Like,
I mean,
I feel like it's going to open with technology like the Wiimote technology from 7 years ago when they designed it, and it's going to be locked into a time period that it didn't even get to experience.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like Interventions is a perfect example. Like, it's supposed to keep updating. It didn't keep updating.
No, they just added Sega video games to it.
Exactly. So they're going to build the Play Pavilion and be like, we're going to keep updating this, and it's not going to happen. They might do it once or twice, but it's not going to happen.
If it even opens.
Yeah. Exactly.
D23 Expo is coming up. You think they'll just re-announce Mary Poppins, Spaceship Earth, and Play Pavilion and pretend they didn't announce it in 2017?
I kind of hope. To be fair, I honestly hope they announce Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth, please fix Spaceship Earth.
They'll pretend that they did the last update 4 years ago, that they're already on to the next one. After the success of our last update we never installed, we've decided to go in a different direction.
And we're going to expand the track and get a new narrator and update.
Yeah, it's Jeremy Irons. It's brought to you by AT&T, and it'll have stuff on The Descent. Because that was the best version.
Oh, was it though? I
The
kind of
best
liked Walter
version of
Cronkite
everything is
too.
when I was a kid, okay?
When I was a kid, though, I had Walter Cronkite too, not just Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, but I remember Jeremy Irons more. So therefore it was the best. He was Scar, and that made it
Walter
cool.
Cronkite. Oh man.
Both of those
I
versions were
bet.
very sleepy, though. I do remember
I bet
that.
half the people that listen to this have no idea who Walter Cronkite is, which is kind of scary.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Is that something he said, or is that just like a cartoon version of him?
No, that was his. I think that was his phrase every time.
Well, there you
like, he
go.
told
I'm
the
old
story,
enough to
so.
remember that.
Walter Cronkite.
I remember him from the production tour animation video with Robin Williams.
Dude, that video was so good, though. It was so good.
Is that the one? They were
I
both
loved
together in that one, right?
Yeah, and he turned
He
Robin
narrated
Williams
it
into
and
a pirate
Lost Boy.
cartoon, or Lost Boy on the pirate ship. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yep.
Yeah, that was such a good video.
We are
So
so
good.
old.
We are very old. Speaking of, I'm gonna go take a nap now.
Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, do you want to talk about your album coming out?
Not really. It's just an EP. I don't really care. I just wanted to write music with friends. The other guys are kind of running with the PR thing, so I just kind of grab things on occasion. There's really
I think it's cool. I think it's worth a shout out because like you have there's a song already out and the whole EP comes out August 19th.
19th. Yeah, there's 2 songs out. But it's just a 5-song EP. You can pay for it or you can get it for free, however you want. It's on Bandcamp right now. Just look up Buried Under Sky. There's 2 demo versions of 2 of the songs out on like anything streaming, so they're not as good as the new EP versions, but you can listen to them on there too. Just look up Buried Under Sky on anything you want to listen to. Apple Play, Spotify, literally anything.
Buried Under Sky. What did you do for the album? What do you do in the band?
I mixed it and did a lot of producing and played guitar.
I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks. It's I just having fun with old friends. It's not a big deal to me.
Is it like heavy metal but pretty?
So we are a mix of humans that like weird music. So a lot of us listen to heavy stuff. All of us are old hardcore kids. My bass player Jay, my buddy Jay, was in OTEP for a while too. He's doing an Ozfest and stuff. But we all 3 of us like synthwave a lot. We all listen to heavy music. We listen to like chill music. So we kind of all comes together. It's like really, our songs are kind of all over the place, but I tend to sneak in a lot of 80s keyboards because I think it's fun.
I think that's what it is that I like about it. You sneak in the synth stuff and the melody stuff, and you sweeten a lot of stuff to make it sound more melodic. I like that stuff.
Yeah, we're into melodic stuff a lot, and we're all used to playing in like super technical heavy bands. So like trying to write in like rock formats a lot of the time is super challenging for us to make it sound good. So it's been kind of fun to do the melodies and stuff that we used to do and try to get it into whatever we're writing at the time. But yeah, our musical thing goes all over the place. The first 2 songs that I came out with, one of them has like a string part that I wrote, and then wasn't even intended for the band, but they wanted to use it, so I wrote another part over it, and then it kind of just went from there. I don't know. Why am I being interviewed for a band?
Sorry, I kind of sprung that on you. I just thought it was cool because I know it's coming out soon.
It is. Thank you for asking about it.
This is now a music podcast. I'm going to be like, apparently. So Buried Under Sky comes out, the new EP, Darkest Corners, August 19th. You'll be able to find it on Bandcamp.
It's on Bandcamp right now.
The song that you can listen to now is called Extinguishing the Stars.
Yes.
Thank you for talking with us about the album.
It's been great. It's been great. Thanks for having me. I'm going to go now.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. We got some 80s. We did some 80s covers too. That'll be coming out.
Oh, yeah. What covers did you do? There was one that I really liked. You know, you got to do the Kate Bush song now, right?
Oh, no, I'm not doing. Everyone's doing the Kate Bush song.
Everyone does.
I will say this much. It's awesome that people finally know who Kate Bush is, because Kate Bush was awesome in the 80s. But, people had no idea. She's really awesome. I almost swore. You should definitely do a deep dive on Kate Bush music. She's really good. Yeah.
All right. EPCOT good.
EPCOT good. Rides good, even if they're kind of not like blowing my mind. The new rides are still good. The new areas are still good. They're just not. They don't feel finished. Unrefined is the word that I keep coming back to.
We got great food, good atmosphere, decent rides. They're decent. World Showcase still looks beautiful. except for the thing in the center of the lagoon.
Yeah,
It's a good park. It's a good park.
It's a good park. You should go and hang out, and definitely eat at Connections, and definitely try Via Napoli if you haven't, and get an apple pie apple from Werther's in Germany, and get a drink at Rose and Crown.
Blackcurrant cider at Rose and Crown. Yeah.
And then go on
do all the
imagination,
things.
and then complain to yourself about how much it was awesome at one point in life, and now it's not good. And how did you mess it up with Eric Idle? I'm just saying.
And we'll talk about Epcot again in 3 years, and the hole in the center will still be there.
If it's anything like Tron, it will be.
Oh no. Bye everyone.
Bye guys. Thanks for listening to Epcot.